Welcome to ANZ Combined Racing League's Indy 500. This is our special event and also round 6 of our IndyCar Championship. I'm your host, Woody Lizard, and I'm looking forward to bringing this 200 laps of the Indy 500 to you all. This is our 5th run-in of the Indy 500, and it's also part of ANZCRL's Triple Crown. So here we go, we're good to go. So we're going to continue, and this is the order that we have. I'll try and see if I can, on the chase, so we got Dark Racing 40 on pole position. He did a 38.519. Sato behind with a 38.541. Commander Cirrus, the first of the P51 Sim Sport cars, did a 38.601 in 3rd position. 4th position alongside him will be Illogical Sports on the 2nd row. Again, P51 Sim Sports, but in the Honda, in the Doom car. So looking for a good run. We've got the 2 Hondas on the front row, and then split with Commander Cirrus in the Chevrolet. Another Chevrolet of Dado Racer on the 3rd row on the inside. And he did a 38.704. I think he was a bit disappointed on that time, but we'll see how he goes in this race. He's been quick all weekend, and Weary Knight will be alongside him on row 3 on the outside with the P51 Sim Sports crew again with a 38.740. Maddie's seeking the final of the P51 Sim Sports cars in the number 9, I think it is. He did a 38.8. Highlander subbing for Commander Jim in the Pertec Murray Chevrolet. Number 61 is in position 8. So he'll be on row 4 there with row 5. Alongside him will be Dark Lord. Actually, no, Dark Lord's around row 5, sorry. And he's the wild card, I believe. No, Dark Lord's not the wild card, sorry. He's, how could I forget that? I think he's 2nd in the championship, 3rd in the championship. He's in the Smith-Peterson Dallara. And actually, no, he is the wild card, sorry. He is the wild card entering, Dark Lord. Then we have Gear 3 Gaming will be alongside him on the 5th row on the outside in the Chip Ganassi, number 3, Team Penske, I should say, not Chip Ganassi, Team Penske. I'll get it right, guys. I'll get in the zone. Night Pegasus. He comes out in the rear of the field in the number 11 KVSH Racing Chevrolet. So he did a 39.260. He didn't quite reach the 38s, but he was doing the 38s in practice, so we'll see how that all pans out. And they're going to be 2 by 2. The leader will have control of the race. Well, we won't have the control of the race. It is go at the green. There's no overtaking until the drivers cross the start-finish line. We have virtual safety cars in force, and that's whenever cars get involved, damage is off. For the super speedway here at Indy 500, 200 laps. Who's going to be drinking the milk at the end of this? And which manufacturer is going to be jumping in the glory as well? Will it be Honda? Will it be Chevrolet? Last year's reigning championship at Logical Sports in 4th position. So we'll see how that goes. He's in that Honda. We got 3 Hondas in those 2 front rows. The Chevrolet's down the inside, the red number 9 of Commander Cirrus. But here comes Darky. Nerves would be very, very high. The start of 200 laps. Each virtual safety car period goes for 2 laps only. Lap cars can get their lap back. Here we go. We're waiting for the lights. We'll hear them. They're stuck at 120 kilometres an hour. You can hear it. They're going to go. Off they go. Good start down the back through from Dado Racer. I think not from Dado, from Weary Knight actually. Look at them come filtering through here. And into the turn 1 they go. They look like they've all got through nice and safely. Almost, Alex, 2 abreast. It looked like it's going to be 3 wide there for a second. Illogical Sports has lost out, but he's gaining that position back now to hold the inside. Darky, though, out front. Got away nice and cleanly with Sato 15 behind. Oh, almost going to go too wide here into turn 3. Highlander holding up around the outside. Brushing the wall. I think that's a big moment there from Matty Seeking. That's a virtual safety car. He's got his reset car to pit, so we didn't get that first one. They go race to the flag until the virtual safety car. And there we go, so the first time. So we got Darky leading the race on that first lap. And who would have thought that lap 1, we went to lap 11 last year before we had the first safety car. So we're just going to have a breath here and get these guys sort of weary. Knight has already got it stuck up with a little penalty. Wonder how he got that. 5-second penalty. Not too sure how that happened. Maybe he was increasing the speed at the start. We did see Weary jump that start really well. I reckon that's what would have happened. He has jumped the start too quickly and copped himself a 5-second penalty. The number 10 P51 Sim Sports car, so Matty Seeking. The number 8 P51 Sim Sports. So he's rejoined the queue. They have to go around there at 150 kilometres an hour. They're just up in the pace just that little bit as he's at the back of the queue there, but Dark Racing 40. So they will be starting, they have the 2 laps. Now he's going to get their tyres cold. Not going to be happy about this. They may get started here this time around. No one's elected to pit, so they'll want to get this race started. So how did we go? Dark Racing, who started on pole, still on pole, so no change there. Sato 15 is in second, no change there. Weary Knight, the big starter from 6th to 3rd, but there's doubts on that. Obviously, he's got that 5-second penalty due to that probably jump start. Commander Cirrus, he dropped a spot from 3rd to 4th. Illogical Sports dropped a spot also to 5th from 4th. Highlander made a couple of places from 8th to 2nd. Dado's dropped 2 spots from 5th down to 7th. And then Night Pegasus, looks like we're going to go. Night Pegasus has gone from 11th to 8th. Dark Lord is stayed the same position. Gear 3 Gaming stayed the same position. And Matty Seeking, as we've seen, from 7th to last due to that touch on the wall up on the outside. We'll keep the map up because it's a good reference to know where everyone is. And if we do have a yellow. So here he goes, it's off. And look at Weary Knight, he's ready to go. Look, he's showing down the outside of Sato. Darky's made that coming through nicely through turn 1. Setting up now, a lot of the tyre pressures would have and the temperatures would have got out, so the cars would be a little bit taily, a little bit loose. Coming around that turn 2. It was unfortunate from Matty just getting that tail out, coming out of turn 3, I think it was. And Commander Cirrus in the thick of it here of the P51 Sim Sports. They're 1, 2 and 3 there. Well, when I say 1, 2 and 3, they're together at 3rd, 4th and 5th. The pace is now starting to pick up. Sato's looking a bit racy towards Dark Racing 40. Sato's the leader of the championship at the moment. Just getting a feel how the car is in the draft and then out of the draft as well. And the first 6 are starting to pull away a little bit. There's a little gap between 6th and 7th. Dado's sort of struggling just to get his groove on at the moment, I'd say. You can see there's a good little, about a second or so, second and a half gap between Highlander and Dado. This is a nice little train up front. At the moment, we're looking at this battle for the lead. P51 Sim Sport car, Weary Knight's starting to mount a challenge now. It looks like he's just got checked up on the coming out of turn 4. And he's got Commander Cirrus right on him now, but their teammates, they'll be working together. Try and unravel these two leading Hondas in 1-2. Got Dark Racing in that number 27 Andretti Autosport car in first position, then Sato chasing the number 15 RLL Racing Honda. Oh, we got Weary. He took the inside of that curb. You can see how it's drifted him out and unsettled that car. We'll get a Logical Sports in view shortly when the cameraman wants to. So there you go. Weary has dropped from 3rd to 5th after getting the inside of turn 3. Big Costly looker, Thailander looking comfortable as well, just at the back there. But again, Sato's just moving around a little bit. That red car will be slipping left and right onto Dark Racing's mirrors. Darky's used to this pressure as well. He'll hold. It's Commander Cirrus now out on his own. He's the P51 Sim Sport guys have dropped off just a little bit. The other two of Logical and Weary Knight. I think Logical had a little bit of a moment when Weary came running up the track there after taking the inside curve at turn 3. It's a long race too, so the other guys in at the back are doing a good job as well. Matty's made the move actually on Dado, so Dado a bit spaced out between him and Dark Lord. The Gear 3 Gaming, he's got some pressure from Night Havoc. Night Pegasus right behind him. Get these laps down, just get a nice groove. Oh, look at Commander Cirrus up high on the wall. What's he doing? Has he been able to hold on to it? Yes, he has, but that's going to cost him some time. Look at the time he loses. Even with damage off, you can just see how much time he's now in the clutches of his other teammates, and Logical's got to run. Going to have a look down the inside. Here we go. He's made it stick down into turn 3. You want to be careful of that curb, as Weary Knight already knows about. And here he goes. He's going to tuck in behind Weary Knight. He's going to tuck in behind his more experienced teammate of Commander Cirrus in this series. Weary Knight did sign up for the series, but has not been able to enter the first 5 rounds. And he's been able to get to the big one, the Indy 500, which is great. Due to complications with moving house, I would believe. These guys are just getting, when I was just about to say getting comfortable, it looked like Sato had a little wobble going on. Highlander, I think, is very happy and comfortable, just sitting back, watching all this unfold. And Matty, 5 seconds behind. Oh, brushing the wall as they come out of turn 1. Darky's just extended the lead just a little bit from Sato. Doesn't look much, but 1/10 of a second. Oh, Sato's come back now at him. I'm going to say it was around about 1/10 the difference. He brought it up to 2/10 of a second. But here he goes again. Sato, I think he's had enough of following the Andretti Autosport car. Both cars seem to be dialed up fairly well. They don't look too loose. They almost look like they're on rails. They almost look like slot cars at the moment. So it could be if we get some good clean running. We had 12 safety cars last year for a race time of around about 2 hours 45 minutes, somewhere around that mark. So far as we know, we already had that first safety car early on lap 1, but other than that, it's been green flag running, and the fuel will be starting to go down on these cars too. We'll bring up the speedo and have a look. 41 litres of the 70 litres, so they're going through it. Wonder if Sato's cars will actually have a little bit more. Yes, he has just that little bit more because he's been able to been in that draft of Darky all race. Just trying to see where he can make a move. Is he going to be? You've got to be very committed. You've got to be brave to make a move here into turn 1. And Gear has got himself. Oh, we've got Dark Lord has left the session. Something happened with Dark Lord, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. We've lost one early on, lap 15, Dark Lord. Normally his connection's good, but he's gone. And looks like Night Pegasus actually is having a moment here. Don't know if this is bringing out a virtual safety car. He's almost going to get lapped. It is a virtual safety car. You can see everyone filtering into the pits. So Sato elected to go into the pits. And we've also got Highlander came in. Maddie Seeking came in. Weary Knight came in. Darky elected to stay out. So all these guys will get their fuel. Remember, they have the 2 laps, so you may see Darky come in this time around too. Night Pegasus should be able to get his lap back, which he has done, I think. There he is. So he's up into 6, but he hasn't pitted yet, you can see. So he's stayed out. He's gained up those positions. And the leaders are coming on through here now, so the next lap around will be go. But here they are, they're filtering in. Darky's coming in. Is Gear going to stay out? Late entry in from Gear. He was trying to fool him, but here comes Night Pegasus. Will he come in? No, he won't, so he's going to take the lead of the race, so he has to slow down now. So he's officially the leader of this race. And he will have the restart of the race here. So all these cars have to come out of the pits. So Night Pegasus may have done a little bit of a miracle here where he's the only one that hasn't pitted. He's going to be off strategy. But we've seen now that he is in the lead of the race and he goes this time around. Sato's coming up, but he's fresh on fuel. But we resume racing this time around. So all these cars filtering out of pit lane now are going to struggle to get onto the back of this queue. It's going to be close, but they won't be quite there. So these guys go this time around. And we'll soon see if Sato with the fresh tyres and the fuel, if he can take an easy overtake on Night Pegasus. So that's our first lead change that we've had. And that was on lap 16. So here we go, Night Pegasus is going. And you can see how some of the other guys have not caught up. So what a bit of a strategy call by Night Pegasus as Sato's having a look down early. Out of anything, I'd say Night Pegasus tyres would probably be the most into temperature. Pressure as well. But Sato's looking around the outside. Look at Weary Knight go. This is going to be hectic. Is this 3 wide? So Night Pegasus backed right out of that. Anyone about that? And Weary Knight now takes the lead of this race. Can he hold it? Yes, he can. So nice move by Weary Knight at the P51 Sim Sports. And look at the battle behind with Maddie Seeking running wide up over following Highlander. The P51 SimSport crew of the 4 cars. Big entry here this weekend. And they have absolutely let loose now. They got position 1 and 4. And then 8 and 9. They got caught out with their pit stop. So Darky was the last ones to come in. They selected one more lap down. You can see that they're further back here, not too far. Just slowly trying to make his way onto the back of this train. But Night Pegasus still holding 5th position. As we can see, that fuel level still gives him plenty of running. But he's below half fuel tank. Sado. Got to run. Will he make a dive down the inside here into turn 1? He's elected just to hold, I think. What a great start to this 2022 running of the Indy 500 here at ANZCRL Combined Racing League. Our 5th time running this on Project Cars 2 on the Xbox. What a sensational start we've had. 2 safety cars on lap 1 and also just recently on lap 15. We're into 21 of the 200 laps. And looks like Darky's having a little look down the inside. Yes, he is. Going to make that move on Night Havoc. Night Pegasus, sorry. That with a fair bit of ease there. I think also Night Pegasus obviously knows that he's a lot faster, but it looks like Sado again. He just can't make a move. He's just in 2 minds at the moment by the looks of things. He's in the same situation as what he was following Dark Racing 40 early. Just trying to see when he can pull the trigger to unleash. But he also knows it's a long game. He's just happy just to hold here. How close is he getting? We'll show you how close he's getting. Oh, on the wrong person, sorry. Look at how close Sado's going, right on here on the tip of the nose. He's very strong through this section. Sado. Amazing how close these getting when they're going almost 400 kilometres an hour. I tell you what, it's a pretty game. These two are absolutely taken away from Matty Seeking and Highlander at the moment. They are looking very comfortable out there. Having a little look on the outside, but Matty's Seeking, as we know, doing a good job there in position 3. Holding off Highlander. Are we going to see a change of the lead here? Oh, he's running up high. Has he been able to hold it off the wall? Yes, he has. Thought for a minute there he was drifting up high, Sado. Oh, I want to go through a bit of the field, but it's so hard to take away from here. I don't want to miss a change of a lead here. It's so close. Just waiting to see when Sado's going to pull out. He could be just comfortable sitting here behind Weary Knight. Letting Weary do all the work. So those last round of pit stops, Dado was a big loser there. You can see they're way in 10th position. And he's a blue dot on the map as well. at Sato just screaming around here at the moment. As it looks like Highland is starting to pull out, having a little look if he can. Oh, Matty, he's starting to look a little bit racy. Again, Sato so close to the back of the gearbox here of Weary Knight. Tell you what, Weary has been out of the racing for a while, but he's holding his own. Nerves of steel. Oh, Sato's run wide here, touching the wall. It hasn't really slowed him down though. Sometimes it slows him down a little bit, but he's been able to go right around the outside here. And there we go. Sato has taken the lead of the race. It's taken him 28 laps to do it. So nice move by Sato. Weary's actually... Oh, it's a virtual safety car period. We've had a safety car somewhere along the line. Oh, look at these two coming in together. Oh, this is business here by the two team... No, I'm going to say teammates. They're not teammates. That was unbelievable as they came into pit lane here. Now, Darky's elected to stay out. So there's a virtual safety car too on lap 28. So that's 3 safety car periods, and that also had that lead change. And then we've also made, there's been Darky has taken the lead. That's the second time that he finds himself back in the lead of the race now. Not too sure who happened to have that accident. We've got Night Pegasus coming out of the pit lane. A couple of these cars are still coming. Dado, he is in 3rd position. And was he able to pit? No, he didn't. So maybe it was involved with Dado, because he hasn't pitted. And he is now, because he's almost going to be a lap down. Well, not almost. He was in the zone of being a lap down with a blue dot. But he is now back into 3rd position. And we got Gear 3 Gaming there as well. Darky. Darky's coming in, so the next lap around will be the start of the race. So Darky's leaving at the last minute to come into pit lane here. So that gives the lead of the race to Gear 3 Gaming now. So there was a couple of cars getting their laps back there that we saw come flying through. And they'll be at full pace. They should join these guys, no dramas. The question is with Dark Racing 40 though, he's rolling now. So he's going to drop a few positions, but we've got some guys out of sync. Obviously Gear 3 Gaming and Dado Racer both haven't pitted, so they've only got the 40 litres of fuel, but these guys here have all pitted. I believe Sato and Weary Knight, Matty, Highlander's pitted, he's got the 67 litres of fuel. Commander Cirrus, Logical Sports, Night Pegasus was always as pitted as well, and Darky's going to have the most of fuel of everyone as he is exiting pit lane now, but he will join that queue and in a good position. So there you go. So Gear 3 Gaming has the he's going about a bit too slow. He's going 120, but 150 they can go. So, but he's got the lead. He can control what he wants to do there. But he's given the opportunity for the other cars to actually catch up. So we've got them all on the lead lap here, and we're going to restart here on lap 30 of 200 with Gear 3 Gaming in the lead, with Dado in a more familiar position here in P2. We're waiting for the go. And it looks like Gear is elected to go now. And off they go. Weary Knight's tucked in behind Sato again. So that's all going to carry on. This time with Sato in front of Weary. Gear 3 Gaming. Enjoying to have Dado behind here, just putting a little bit of a gap between him and himself and Dado there. Well, Dado's going to go 3 wide, are they, into turn 3. Oh, big move by Weary Knight up into second position from 4th. And that's dropped Dado all the way down. Look at Dado drop positions left, right, and center. Oh, an attack from Matty into Dado. I think that's probably... Oh no, Dado's been able to survive that, but it looked like Matty almost got into the back of Dado, which could have all caused a massive incident there. Turn 3, turn 4, I think it might have been. But here we are back at the front. Gear 3 Gaming Team Penske, number 3. And can he hold off the fudge? Sergeant Weary Knight, this is his move. Weary loves coming down into turn 3. And there we go. Made that stick. The gear's coming back at him very strong. Oh, he's missed his turn in there a little bit. But we've got Weary back in front. Second time that he's found himself in front there now. He's not letting off that first position. He enjoyed that few laps that he was in first, and he's grubbing side by side to Sato, championship leader of this IndyCar championship as well. Sato's not getting an easy ride at all, but look who's on the charge. This man of Logical Sports. The second of the P51 Sim Sports car in the Honda though. Have a look down the inside of Gear 3 Gaming, but elected just to hold. Risky move there between turn 3 and 4. Got to have both cars committed to knowing that move is going to happen. Obviously, Gear 3 Gaming wildcard in here at Indianapolis 500 as well, so they're not too sure of his ways of these Indy cars. They do know they've raced together quite a lot over the years, but different beastlies Indy cars. And Gear's doing a good job, just sort of touching the wall. Big moment from Illogical, he came undone. So this will be a virtual safety car. Barrel roll. They'll be calling it in. They're coming into the pits, and I think that we've got a big moment in the pits. Highland, oh no! What happened there? So Night Pegasus actually had a brain explosion and plowed into the back of Illogical, where I don't even know where Illogical is. And Gear 3 Gaming is upside down. I don't think he's got that button to back onto his 4 wheels. Oh, yes, he has. He's found it. Thank God for that. But that was unnecessary from Night Pegasus. I don't know what happened there. Unbelievable. We can't have a replay there, but that was definitely not something you want to see. Definite carnage there, Dark Lord. Yeah, okay, I'm not too sure why people can't connect my party. I've had that a couple of times now. All good. We'll continue on here. So here we go. They're all coming into the pit lane. Oh, they're faking to go into the pits here. There's a little bit of gamesmanship going on here now. So if you didn't think that they weren't taking this serious, you can see there, these guys are taking this race very seriously. And who's just coming out of the pit lane now? That's Night Pegasus, almost a lap down. I tell you what, that was a bit of craziness there. And I think the Gear 3 Gaming, he wouldn't have gone to the pit, so he's going to actually find this tough with his low fuel level. 29 litres of fuel. So Weary stayed out. And look at this, we've got Dark Racing 40 in 3rd position as well. Not too far is Dado. So these are some high championship contenders here. Sato 15, Dark Racing 40, Dado Racer. They're in the number 6, Ed Carpenter. Racing Chevrolet. He's got Highlander right behind him. They're subbing for Commander Jim. So they should be going this time around, I believe. So Weary, you want Dado maybe just up a little bit here, or he's maybe going to try and guess a little bit of a run on, but here we go. Weary should be go this time around. We wait for the pace to come. He's about to drop the hammer. There he goes. And it's race on again. Restart. Our fourth safety car period has ended. Highland just missed the start a little bit. Highland is usually good on the restarts, but just missed it a little bit. Maddie, following Dado's got a lot of pressure here behind from Gear 3 Gaming. Light on the fuel tanks. And Sato's made that move. We had a lead change then. Sato's made it stick. So, second time Sato's found himself in the lead. So, nice move by Sato, which we've missed on camera there. But there he goes, the Team RLL Racing Honda out in front. Slowly creeping up quarter distance as Darky's having a look down the inside, and then Highlanders protected the inside, but will he go around the outside, Darky? No. Hard to do on turn 3. Looks like Highlanders just come off that a little bit, giving Darky a bit of a run around the outside. He looks like he should be able to chop down the inside. We'll see if he will. No, big place for comfort. Oh, big moment. Another one in there, all ploughing into the back. Oh, the big moment there also from Commander Series, had nowhere to go, looks like. And that ends up with Darky on the roof of his car. So safety cars are breeding safety cars once again. So this is going to be our 5th safety car period on lap 39. Sato's actually on one of his fastest laps, but he's coming into the pits. I'd say everyone will filter in the pits, and this has actually been a look at them locking up brakes as they're trying to get to that 60-kilometre speed limit. I'd say Gear 3 Gaming will absolutely enjoy having this safety car period. He was getting a bit lower on fuel to everyone else, 22 litres. So it's about a 45-second transition period down through pit lane, plus the time that these cars are stationary. So Night Pegasus elected to stay out. He's still got plenty of fuel there, so he doesn't think there's any need for pitting this time. But the rest of the field, look at them, they're all in. So Night Pegasus takes the lead of the race on lap 40. And what can he do? Can he now control this race a little bit and get them back into some good green running? We had some good laps there from lap 15, from the first lap to lap 15, and then lap 15 to 28. And then ever since then, we've had safety cars after a little bit of safety cars. So yeah, so Logical now up in the 2nd position. There's a bit of support for Logical there as well. Trying to go back to back. And they've got another lap under virtual safety car here, so they will all join the queue. And I'll just see, Night Pegasus is actually in the pit lane. So that's his ploy that he's doing, but this he probably should have been better off going in first time around. But this gives the lead now to Logical Sports on lap 41. First time Logical has not seen a car in front of him, so he'll be happy about that. And I think it was really a no-brainer for Night Pegasus. It's only going to be a short stop for Night Pegasus to get fuel, because he was almost full tanks, but there's a feeling from these drivers, I think they're going to have a big stint here, maybe a full fuel run onto the greens. That would be wonderful if we could. And see how that all pans out. But the running order, we have Illogical Sports in first, then Sado in second, Weary Night. These two have been going at it all race, Sado and Weary Night. Matty Seeking in fourth position. Wow, that's a great turnaround for Matty. Started in seventh, so he'll be happy in that. Gear 3 Gaming, who started in 10th, has found himself in fifth position. He's led the race also during this period. Highlander back into sixth position, and Dark Racing 40 again. He finds himself stuck in the rear there amongst the midfielders. He's not having a good run, Darky, at the moment. Either is this man, Dado Racer. Commander Cirrus, he got involved with that accident with Dark Racing 40. He had nowhere to go by the looks of things. And here comes Night Pegasus. He's got to have to be careful. Here they all are, and we've got Illogical Sports about to drop the hammer here. We've got the virtual safety car gone, and it's racing on lap 42. We're back into it. Now, what can we see from Illogical in the P51 Sim Sports car? We've seen it pretty dialed up over during the week. He'll definitely be enjoying now having this clean air, but he's got an ultra-fast Sado right behind him, and he would have loved to have seen his teammate Weary Knight in front of Sado, so he'll be hoping that he can get Weary maybe in front of Sado, and at this stage Weary's actually looking pretty strong. Maybe down into turn one here, they're all crisscrossing around here down the main straight. Oh, they're worming, trying to break the draft here. This is absolutely on. And Illogical Sports has got a hold of a fast charging Sado 15. Now don't forget, as we said earlier, Illogical Sports is a reigning Indy 500 winner. He knows what it takes to win. And he's holding Sado off here, keeping Sado saying, well, you've got to take the high side. Look at this running around turns 3 and 4. We've had two abreast. Weary's now coming for the fight. This is exactly what Illogical wants. But it looks like Sado's going to dive down the inside here into turn 1, and will Weary follow him? I think he will. It's going to be hard. No, Night Pegasus, Illogical Sports has been able to get back inside. And all the meantime, look at Highlander. Big move by Highlander. I think Highlander's gone. It is gone, so this is going to be a virtual safety car. So Sado taking the lead here after Highlander. Oh, Sado's thinking about going in. What's he doing? There we go, virtual safety car. And they've acknowledged it, and here they go. On lap 44, we have our 6th virtual safety car period. Now, last year we only had 12. We did have a good period after around about lap 60, where we went for, I think it was around about 80 laps of green running. So that's almost 2 fuel runs. So while we're here in this virtual safety car period, I'll just bring up some timings here so we can have a look at some of the fastest laps. Here's Sado with a 39.341. Not quite there. Illogical Sports with a 340, but Weary Knight looks like he's the fastest man so far with a 30. No, it's not. Night Pegasus has actually done a 39.260. So Night Pegasus has got some pace out of that car with the fastest lap so far of this race. Way down in 9th position. With that 5-second time penalty for Weary Night, that can be very, very costly indeed come the end of the race. We have seen these races end with not even a second separating the leading car. So Weary Night, that could come back and bite him for that jump start early in the race, or jump start early in the race. It was at the start of the race. So there you go. So guys will be coming around to, they're going to start this time around. So Illogical Sports is just coming out of pit lane now. And Night Pegasus, who we said is the fastest man so far of the race, out there in 8th position. He's going to join this queue, as will Highlander and Illogical Sports. They will both get to the queue before the restart. So we've been getting a little bit of a trend going on here with Sado and Weary Knight up front. They obviously look in the form at the moment of this race. Because you can't count out Commander Cirrus and also Dado Racer in 6th and 7th position. Race is still young. We're not even quarter race distance yet, and we're waiting for it to go, and here we go. He's gone. Started lap 47, and we're looking pretty wide into turn 1 here. Oh, a bit of a wobble. Commander Cirrus getting a bit tangled up with Dado, I think, but they look like they're going all right here. Dado's actually having a little look down the inside of P3 Gaming, who's in 5th position, just protecting his line. This is great mid-pack battling here at the moment. Look at them go. Oh, they've both drifted up wide again. Highlander's gone around. So I think he was following Commander Cirrus, who ran up the top there. So this is going to be another virtual safety car period. All on the brakes. Trying to avoid one another here. So the boys are misbehaving a little bit here. Sado's had 3 times on the lead lap, or not so the lead lap, 3 times he's been the leader of this race. Both, we got Dark Racing 40, Weary Knight, and Night Pegasus both leading the race 2 times. And we got Logical Sports and Gear 3 Gaming both leading the race at some stage of this motor race. And unfortunately, Dark Lord 78 had a disconnect on lap 15. So that's disappointing for Dark Lord. He was looking not too bad as well. Just starting to think I might have got settled in for a nice little viewing of some mid-pack battles, and they've all decided to end that with a little bit of a moment through Highlander. Just, I think, got caught up when Commander Cirrus ran wide, touched the barrier, and it also brought up Highlander as well. So sort of following the leader, the old syndrome. So we should be going green this time around, but Commander Cirrus, who's in 8th position, he's currently 2nd in this championship. So looking forward to seeing if he can get on top of Sado 15 here, because Sado 15 leading the championship on 218 points, with Commander Cirrus on 168 points. So a little distance there behind. That's for nearly 50 points, 50 here it is, behind. Double points here tonight. So 100 points on offer. So that could bridge that gap fairly well. But here we go for the restart of this race. They're coming out of the final corner. Let's see if the guys can behave a little bit and get some good, clean running. But look at Weary. They're all scattered around the track here. They know they can't overlap, so they're all trying to see each other. That's why we're all spread out, but up the back here. They're all getting through, drifting wide again. he's Highlander. I mean, not Highlander, he's Illogical Sports, sorry. In the thick of a big battle here in the mid-pack with Dado leading it, but Highlander's having a look down the inside of Dado, and he's made that stick, and it looks like Illogical's going to go through as well. They're almost touching wheels. Look how close this is. Oh, pick up Commander Cirrus, please, cameraman. He's having a look down the inside. Dado's not very comfortable on these restarts. He just wants these tyres to settle in. Camera shake as they rip past around about 360 kilometres or so. So again, Illogical's down the inside of gear. So, oh no, not on gear of Highlander. Sorry, just fending actually from Highlander. Looks like Sato's doing a good job out in front. Weary just following. Oh, down the inside. That must be hard to turn in by from Highlander, causing Commander Cirrus to do a bit of avoiding action, as it looks like Highlander, by taking that inside line, gets drifted up the high side of the circuit. He doesn't get his turn in nice. The mid corner, he's drifting up high. I don't think that's a very good line to be taken for a long period of time. He'll be burning his tyres up. Sato will definitely be wanting to try and make, Commander Cirrus will definitely be wanting to try and make him moves. Oh, and that was not called from Highlander. Oh, he came down for a block down between turn 1 and 2. Why would you do that at this stage of the race? Oh no, we're not going to get through this race very quickly if they keep trying to block moves between corners, the chutes of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And here they all come. Lap 53. And we have Dado into the lead of the race. The first time Dado has found himself leading the race. He will be happy about that. On lap 54. So 11 lead changes so far. And Night Pegasus decides to not pit either and hold in the back here of Dado. Now, I wish we had a replay there. I just don't know what Highlander unfortunately was trying to do or achieve there by blocking Commander Cirrus. He had a definitely run on him through turn 1, and he turned down on Commander Cirrus. Commander Cirrus couldn't go anywhere, especially at these paces. Big learning curve for a lot of these drivers too as well. We only run the IndyCars, well, we run this every year. This is our 5th run of the Indy 500. But we're not nowhere oval experts, but I'll tell you what, I don't think Commander Cirrus would have been too happy about that manoeuvre that was put on him. As Gear 3 came in and Commander Cirrus are leaving the pit lane. But Dado has got one more lap to go before we go green again. So let's have a little look at the fuel levels that we're looking at here. Dado's on 44 litres. Oops, wrong button. 56 for Night Pegasus. Highlander at 48. And then these are the guys that are all pitted. Logical Sports. Matty, so all these guys will all be full fuel tanks here now. Weary Night. Darky just slowing it down slowly. There he goes, back filters back into 8th position. Gear 3 Gaming's got a little time penalty too. Maybe coming in too hot. I'd say pit lane, 10-second penalty. Could be costly at the end here. Commander Cirrus, I tell you what, I reckon he would be fuming. There'd be steam out of that blue helmet, that's for sure. He wouldn't be happy about that. had a nice run. Would have been a very good looking manoeuvre too to have up on your screens. And unfortunately we've seen cars flying in the air. So here we are, about to restart again. And Dado's absolutely gapped, and Night Pegasus was actually asleep and totally missed the start. So that's given Highlander something to look at around the outside. And so here comes as well Sado, bringing a Logical Sports with him. Protecting the inside, Sado from a Logical. Puffing the cement wall from one of the cars in front. Probably from that. Oh, another little touch. Have a look how, oh, there's a battle here. Highlander now having a little go. He's got a run on Dado. Highlander hasn't been part of the lead of the race yet, but he definitely wants the moment here if he can. Oh, Dado, big moment. Oh, big tag. They're still staying together here. Can they keep this together? Oh, the slow paces of these cars. It's going to be a big moment. We've just seen a big one. Something's happening, cars are everywhere. There could be a car missing, could be in the universe. They were doing so well to keep it all together, but Weary Knight has come out there in the lead of this race. Lap 9. I mean, ninth safety car period, lap 57. I can't believe how this is running this this race this year. I've been involved with all of them and I haven't seen it like this before. I tell you what, it looks like all cars have reached back down to the earth after being ejected to the stratosphere. So they're all coming out, filtering out now. So we just did see someone in the Twitch channel saying how big is the circuit. Well, it's 4 kilometres in length, 4 corners. Super Speedway, 2.5 miles, I believe, so 4 kilometres. And 500-mile race, which is 805 kilometres for 200 laps. So that's what we're up for tonight, and we're only up to lap 59 of 200. We should get underway on lap 60. And we got Weary Knight just controlling this field here as some of the guys now. Matty coming on into the back of the queue as is Highlander. So that was a big moment out of in between turn 3 and 4. They were almost holding on to it. Just got too much as Highlander. I think he done a great job recovering. And I think it was actually Night Pegasus that came on through down the inside and with the slow speed of Highlander collected him. But here we go again. Here these two go. Weary Knight and Sato together. And Gear 3 Gaming looking a little bit racy there in position 4. Trying to hold off Commander Cirrus. Would be happy that he's got a Logical Sports there, but now he's got Dado also. Dark Racing 40. Threading the needle through the middle, these two. Nice run by Dark Racing 40. Up into position 4. Oh, 3 wide. Can Gear hold on to it? He has. So I don't think anyone else was involved in that, so maybe we'll probably continue on here. Oh, great view on that quick camera view on the ground, but here comes Weary and Sato 15. It's going to be a long night for these guys unless they can start getting some nice green flag running. Definitely not lost yet. We've got 9 safety car periods. As I said, last year there was 12. Oh, here we go. Dado Racer. He's up to speed now. I think he's got a bit of confidence, but look at, here comes Darky. He's got to run and he's going to follow his Commander Cirrus down the inside. And at the same time, we've got a Logical Sports, so the P51 Sim Sports cars are battling it out. So Commander Cirrus has just backed out of that, because otherwise they're going to be going 2 or 3 wide. But here comes a Logical up into 4th. Nice move on Dado down the inside of turn 4. Weary Knight is still trying to hold off this man, Sato 15. Look how close Sato was as he went over the camera. Oh! Dado up high, but he's still continuing. These other cars are going to come at a rapid rate of knots, though. Gear 3 Gaming and Matty Seeking, they should be able to round him up down here. But back straight, they'll have the pace. Oh, that's a nice move by Gear. And also, Matty's having a little look from Dado. So a simple mistake has cost Dado from 5th down to 8th. But racing is still happening, which is good to see. That's what they come here to race, so they will definitely not call a virtual safety car if they don't have to. That wasn't warranted anyway because it was just a brush on the wall. Damage is off for the guys. And here's a change for the lead, Sato, but he's also, will Dado have a look? Not Dado, Dark Racing 40, sorry. Oh, good solid move by Sato. Stamping his authority here on lap 64. The 4th time that Sato has found himself in the lead of this race. You've got the 2 P51 Sim Sports guys of the Logical Sports and Commander Cirrus just working together there in positions 4 and 5 to try and rejoin onto the back of this leading trio. Weary Knight up on his fastest time. Getting a nice healthy draft. Oh, there's been a moment. Dark Racing 40. So Weary's stayed out. So he's regained that lead. Dado will be 2nd. Gear 3 Gaming. So what was I saying? There's all that not lost about trying to at least get some good run in here. But lap 65 is our 10th safety car period. And we got Weary Knight back in the lead of this race as well. Coming in hot is Night Pegasus, but he's pulled it up. So Sato's moving. They're all sort of moving out of pit lane here. There we pick up Highlander. As you can see them all moving down out of pit lane. We've had some nice little battles throughout the race so far, but we've been kept getting broken up by a lot of safety cars. Oh, someone's coming into pit lane here. Night Pegasus is doing what he's been doing. That's his strategy. He goes out one lap and then comes in the next. That could cost him at one stage though if he's not careful, especially if he's on low fuel. 51 litres. They only just burned about 20 litres, 70 litres to fill up a tank. So he'll find himself at the back of the queue again, Night Pegasus, so he's got a little work to do. It's definitely going to extend this night for the boys. So far we've been going for just over an hour of this race. Oh, Weary Night's just been disconnected from the lead of the race into pit lane. That is not what we want to see. So that's given now Dado the lead of this race. Unfortunate about that. If you can join Dark Lord, unfortunately. But here we go. We've got 9 remaining in this race. Started with 11. Lap 67. And here comes Dado to restart this race. Just in the background, we've got Night Pegasus just about to join. Gear 3 Gaming in second position. So here comes Dado. He's been able to just get a little bit of a gap here, and we've got Gear 3 Gaming just holding off Sado out of turn 2, but can he hold him on down this long back straight? The Logical Sports also pushing Sado. Sado will be getting a benefit from the Logical behind him as well. Oh! With Dado slowing down, it's caused a moment there between Gear 3 Gaming and then again Sado 15 has collected him. And that's just a bit of Dado being a little bit careful on that opening lap. You can just see he backed off a little bit going into turn 3. Caught Gear 3 Gaming out. So I'll put down here another virtual safety car. Lap 11. I mean the 11th virtual safety car on lap 69. So we'll see now. We've got Dado will be into for fuel. 19 litres. He'll definitely jump in. A Logical won't have to. So he'll actually get control of this race. He should take the lead of this race. I'm just quickly running through. I think everyone else is on, except for Gear 3 Gaming. So you might see Gear 3 Gaming come in for pit as well. So here comes Dado. Comes, as does Night Pegasus does it as well. So Gear 3 Gaming didn't come in. That's a shock. I thought Gear would have definitely come in. The rate that the safety cars have been going though, he thinks, well, I'll be safe just to stay out. So that gives the Logical Sports the lead of the race. Okay, we might just quickly see if we can get an invite into the comms box for Weary Night. Okay, we should be back now, so Weary Knight can join in. So currently it looks like the fastest time is by Dark Racing with a 39.115, but here we are about to go start. Welcome, Weary. Hard luck, my friend.
Yep. How you going? Yeah, it's not the one that we wanted. 2 years in a row disconnect, but well, that's racing.
Well, it is racing on console, but lap 67, mate, and looked sensational. Had the pace as well. So you and Sato had some great battles early on. As we've just restarted here with Illogical Sports in front, and hopefully we get some nice green flag running here now. Darky having a good look around, getting settled. Seeing if he can make a move on Illogical. Dark Racing 40. Definitely wants to see if he can get in front. Doesn't want to be caught behind these guys. Oh, the battle behind too with Highlander once again. And Matty. And Commander Cirrus looking very racy around the outside of his teammate, but he's just had to check out a little bit, and that's opened up now for Gear 3 Gaming, having a look down the inside. And Sato's just waiting to see where he may poke his nose. Running very wide in the grey stuff. Oh, and there goes Gear, but he's done his 360. And he's continued on. I don't think anyone else is involved, so I believe that we will continue on. Dado is way at the back. I didn't see why he was so late. Maybe he pitted late.
Yeah, I've got stream up now. Sweet.
So yeah, we've just having now a look at Darky mounting a challenge on Illogical Sports.
Yeah, Darky's looking very quick, easy.
Yeah, he's been up and down in this race actually, Dark Racing 40, but actually the fastest man on the circuit. The track's definitely come to the Andretti Autosport car.
See if Darky can get by Illogical Sports without his teammate Soto there to assist him. I think he's got the pace to do it, but to see.
Yeah, he's looking good earlier on too, Darky, but then when he started mounting a challenge, I think he lost the rear end of the car, so it's a little bit loose in close quarters, I think, for Darky. But with just the two cars, that seems comfortable. But when there's other cars behind him as well, it's out around the outside. Matty's having a look at Highlander. Nice little mid-pack back battle here for third position. Oh, he's been forced out on the grass. It's not the first time we've seen Highlander making it hard for anyone, making it difficult, and that's what ends up happening.
Yep.
So I'm not too sure what is in the Highlander's drink this afternoon. And Illogical looks like he's just holding on. No, it looks like Darky has just taken the lead of the race as they cross the start-finish line. We'll soon see if they're going to put it back in the air. So Darky just grabbed it at the sprint to the flag. So that was 76 and another safety car. So there's our 12 safety car periods already, and we're not even halfway. In for a long night, my friend.
Yep, this is an endurance race, if it isn't already is.
Well, it could be come down as one of our longest we've had on record. I tell you what, with those some of those crazy little manoeuvres, and I'm pointing to this man here that I've seen, unfortunately. Racing probably a little bit too hard. You can race hard, but not, I think, in a super oval like this, when it doesn't mean anything early on, is putting a stop-start to this race at the moment.
Yeah, you don't want to create too many enemies this early on.
Yeah, he's just he protects down the inside, but he's turned in a couple of times. But that's probably just the way he's been racing. So I have been seeing that he does run a more shallower line in as well, Highland, and then that makes him push a little bit mid-corner. So he makes himself vulnerable. But the way he positions the car on the track just is causing a few incidents. They may have to look at that and work on the way where he positions his car during the race, I guess. Bit out of character for Highlander though, I must admit. So I think Darky stayed out, as did Gear 3 Gaming. We'll go through the fuel. Gear 3 Gaming now at 25 litres of fuel. Dado up in third position, 54 litres, 66 litres for Matty in the P51 Sim Sports car, and his teammate behind him there on 66 as well. Highland has joined the queue, as has Sado. And these guys are going to be running hard to the queue before the start, but here we go. The restart, Darky leading the pack, and off they go on lap 78.
Good quarter shoot as early as possible before the other boys catch up. Like they're going to have that overdrive on them.
Yeah, that's it, but that's where we can start having a few problems too, because those guys are got their tyres a bit up to temperature and pressure, whereas the cars in front are still managing that. So a little bit slower. As we'll look and see what Sato can do. Oh, a little twitch from Sato. Oh, did you see that? He just sort of brushed the wall but hit it at an angle. Oh, it's a lag spike, I think, from Sato. The Commander Cirrus is stuck up there, so I think we had a lag spike from Sato, which then caused Commander Cirrus to go hard into the wall. So that was a weird one.
Sato's been floating on the wall all night tonight, so it's strange that it happened, but if anything was going to happen, it would happen to him. Like,
I'm getting rider's cramp writing down the number of safety cars here.
What's the average on green flag running? We guessed about 4 or 5 laps.
Oh, that means me getting a calculator out as well. But you had some good running early on after the first lap safety car. You had 14 laps or 13 laps of running, and then in between 15 and 28 laps you had some good running. And then after that it's been not too many laps, so it's probably getting a little bit tiresome for the drivers as well.
Yep.
And so they're all filtering in. Gears made sure that he's come in this time around, as he was getting low on his fuel. You see 21 litres in his tank before he hit his bait. And Dado back in front, but with 50 litres. And behind him, Matty's, well, he's only just come in, he's only burnt 7 litres of fuel. As will the other cars behind. So Dado resumes back in front again. Now tell us how those battles were with Sato. I tell you what, you two absolutely had some quality racing together. Sato was probably millimetres from the back of your gearbox for many a laps, and you just held your nerve.
Yeah, it was pretty close, but it was comfortable. And we both had, we both were aware of each other's sort of surroundings, and both felt extremely comfortable and we were quick. I saw that, on the time chart we were pulling away, so we're hoping for some green flag running. Maybe turn into a two-horse race, but unfortunately it's not the case.
So here we go on the restart. Yeah, it is a big unfortunate that you got disconnected, because I tell you what, it was good seeing that number 10 car out there. And definitely looked very pacey indeed. So Sato's just dropped a few positions there on that restart. Didn't want to get involved with a bit of the aggro early on, I think, on that restart. And we're looking at Highlander. We know Dado's very slow on his restarts. It's taken a while to get that car back up to an operating window. So he's very vulnerable at restarts. So I think Dado would love to see a good fuel run here, especially while he's out front. He should have the pace to hold off Highlander, but he probably needs another lap and a half before he's probably at full pace, Dado, and comfortable with the car. And look who's lurking behind these two. We've got Dark Racing 40 and Commander Cirrus. As you said, Commander Cirrus currently second in the championship.
Yeah, Sato the
and,
leader right behind him.
That's right, so there's and Dark Racing 43rd, so he's leading this little battle at the moment for third position. But not for long, they're going for a lead as Highlander's taking that move on Dado. And it's all happening behind, with Dado trying to hold up, but he's going to be on the high side here. So Dark Racing 40. Oh, and Commander Cirrus, I think it was. Oh, another big little bit of a give you a buff info from Logical Sports.
Oh, Maddie got a touch
kept going.
Oh,
3 wide here. Look at him going. Sato wants to get out of these P51 Sim Sports into battle. It is on. Tell you what, they're not leaving anything behind here. Oh, they've all one ride. And look at Dado. Here comes Dado straight through the middle, I think. But that was Maddie, I mean. Get muddled up with both those cars. But another virtual safety car period. I tell you what.
Highlander's
next. Highlander's in. And Darky's taking the lead of the race. Oh, little bit of argy-bargy between some of the teammates here. Oh, Maddie actually onto Sato, saying, no, I'm third. Oh, I don't know if I want to be calling another race like this. I tell you, Weary, I was looking forward to a very exciting, fluid race, but I'll tell you what, we've had more stoppages than go. That's for sure. It's been a tough one.
I tell you what, I prefer to be up here than in the driver's debrief afterwards.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they won't be, yeah, a little bit too wide, these elbows at the moment. But anyway, they're only going to make it a long night for themselves. But double points for the championship, so they all want to get to the end here, because they can't throw away vital points in the championship, that's for sure. We've only got 2 more rounds remaining after this. It's Circuit of the Americas and then Laguna Seca, the final round. So So we'll see what can happen here. Commander Cirrus, he'd be happy. Oh, he's got a time penalty as well. So how did that come along? Maybe coming into pit lane too strong? Yes, he did. 10 seconds. Same as what happened to Gear 3 Gaming earlier. And the reigning IndyCar champion is currently in 9th position in pit lane as well, from the look of that. He's just come out of pit lane, so I don't think he's too fussy. He knows he's got the pace, and he just needs to get a nice clean run on these guys. So again, these guys will be just joined, maybe not even joined. They won't even get to the back of the queue here before these guys start. I reckon you'll find Dark Racing 40 dropping the hammer as soon as he comes out of turn 4.
Yep, do exactly what he did last time. Make sure the other two guys don't have a chance to catch up.
He's still on 150 though. He's running it a little bit. Here he goes. And you just see in the background, a Logical Sports came out of turn 4 as they're coming into turn 1.
It's very daunting that when you're trying to catch up to the field and decide to accelerate and come out of turn 4.
Yeah,
it's not a great sight.
No, it's a deflating moment maybe, but you know, as it is, you only have to catch on to someone that's sort of roughly a little bit of pace that you can run with, and you can slowly catch the cars in front. We've seen that happen.
Exactly, and safety car brings safety cars. Just not the end of the world.
Well, I'll tell you what, they're breeding like rabbits tonight, I tell you that much. This is what we want to see, a nice little four-way battle, and it's all looking fairly healthy. They're not darting around everywhere. They look like they just want to settle in for some good running here.
Yeah.
Oh, Matty's thinking about it. Darky's checked them all up a little bit. So you believe that Dark Racing 40 and Sato 15 are teammates here in this race, so they've clamped into the two P51 Sim Sports in the meat of this sandwich at the moment. The two Hondas.
Yep.
We'll see them working together.
And what Matty wants to do is try to hold up Sato as he lets his teammate Steers try to get in front of Darky.
Yeah, definitely. That's what they'd want to do, especially if it was near the end of the race as well. But they've not even reached halfway yet, so they've got a long way to go.
That's right. Darky's very unsettled when he's behind someone, so he looks very comfortable with clean air. When he's got that dirty air, he looks a bit nervous. But the car looks a little bit nervous.
Yeah, and Sato's just touched the wall and he's dropped right off this pack, so that's going to give Gear 3 Gaming an opportunity to maybe just latch on to a little bit of a draft. But Commander Cirrus in this red Target P51 SimSports car, definitely looking very strong as we're reaching ever so slowly to the halfway mark. Definitely not going to be any competition cautions in this race. We've had enough of them. Let's go green.
Yeah, let's see some strategy.
Now you can just see Commander Cirrus, as I was just looking at his throttle engagement, it was not 100%, it was fluctuating, so I'm hoping he's not having any throttle problems. But he's actually, maybe he's done that to bring Matty back into the game, because Matty was dropping the draft, so I think that's what it might have been. We've seen the speedo that the green line, curved line, is his throttle input, and it definitely was not on the 100%. But look at this. This is great teamwork by the P51 Sim Sports together. And you can just have a look down behind too. Gear 3 Gaming has been able to latch onto Sato 15. And they're now running together. Oh, Matty in the infield. He's had a moment. And it's caught a safety car as well, so Matty must be pointing the wrong way somewhere down there in the infield. We couldn't see it. So lap 93, we have our next lot of caution. And that will now bring Sato right up to behind Commander Cirrus on this restart if they don't elect to go into the pits. Matty's in. Highlander's also in the pits. As is illogical, he's the first one out. Oh, it'd be good just to run on to 10 laps of green flag running. Here they come. Well, we did see you playing a little bit of a gamesmanship there earlier too. Weary Night as you're faking the move into the pit lane. That was a great bit of entertainment on our screens.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Sato and I having a game with each other.
It was good to see. So Gear 3 Gaming has now taken the lead due to this safety car period. So that's our 18th lead change.
As we're approaching the halfway mark, who's your bets on taking the checkered flag first?
Oh, look.
It's a bit hard to tell.
I'm actually... Yeah, no, I still think this man that's coming up here into second Illogical Sports has got the goods to make it back-to-back. Penalty free, which is a big bonus so far. Commander Cirrus, I would have said he probably would have had the pace, but that 10-second penalty is going to definitely cost him in the end. And you can never discount Sato. I think Dark Racing 40 finds it hard in close battles with cars. I find that the car will be a little bit loose near the end there, and they could really mount the pressure there and unstable that car. So, yeah, the safest car at the moment, definitely, I think, is Illogical Sports, and wouldn't be even surprised the car behind him in Highlander. I know I'm sitting on the fence here, but I know he's been racing aggressive and caused probably 3 or 4 safety car periods, but he's got the mongrel tonight, Highlander, so you don't discount him.
Yeah.
And here we go, off we go. So Gears a wild card in. The last time I think he was for the Daytona 24 hour. And he's just lost the lead there to Darky. Slingshot around the outside. Will he make it stick? No, he won't. But he's been up. Oh, big touch from the back there from Highlander, which is going to cause a virtual safety car for sure. As Highlander is struggling, but it looks like that Illogical Sports just got him to the flat, to the line. So Illogical will definitely, I would say, be in the lead at this halfway mark. We will have a few green laps leading up to that. I'd say I wouldn't want to even be in the driver's chat at the moment. I would say
definitely not. As much as I don't want to say, but I'm happy I dropped out when I did because it was quite calm when I left.
At the moment now, I think they'd be almost thinking, what is going on, guys?
Yep. Drivers are getting a bit tired. even at the 60 lap mark. But I say it's getting quite heated now.
Yeah, look, I think they're getting tired, but I think they're getting tired, yeah, definitely, of all this stop going. If they get in a groove, next thing you know, you've done 30, 40 laps, and that's what they want to do. That's what they need to see.
Yeah.
Not even seeing much strategy unfolding here at the moment because they're just pretty much being able to pick during these safety car periods. There's Matty showing his hand there and trying to force his teammate, I guess, Commander Cirrus, in as well. So the next time around we will see the green again. Got a few stragglers behind. So again, I don't know if you saw there, but I think also just the awareness of some of the drivers is just, as you said, well, you brought it up, they might be starting to feel a little bit doughy at the moment. And but that was some moment there where we did see what was going on, and I'm sure the drivers behind, one Highlander may have seen the cars happening, but he ended up ploughing in the back of the recovering Dark Racing 40.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is a bit hard sometimes when people, as people are trying to gather up themselves from an incident, to judge where they're going on the slope. He could have that struggle.
Agree with that. Yeah. There's many different factors as well. I'm sitting here in the comms box, not even behind the wheel, so I'm not there to really judge anyway. So, but I think it'd just be great now if we can just go green for a full fuel run on these guys, and see them try and get into these pit stops. They fall lap down on a green flag pit stop, so it'll be good just to see that all happen and see where they all filter out. But here we go. Logical Sports has this lead at Gear 3 Gaming. Wants that inside run if he can. And he's actually lost it by the looks of Matty Seeking. Going to try and run around the outside. It's a tough move into turn 1 and 2, but he's still holding there, Matty. He's got to try and duck down the inside if he can to protect that line, which he's done, but now he's tucking down the inside of Gear 3 Gaming.
He's looking high, he's looking low.
Yeah, he's made that stick. Nice move by Matty. Keep it off the wall. Oh, he's hopped the wall there, but he's going to slow down a little bit. Running it out wide. Nice and safe. Oh, he's touched the wall again. Cost him dearly. Starting to gather it back up now. Oh, but him and Dado have come together. Well, I thought they came together. I'll tell you what, I think there's a bit of lag spiking going on. So they did come together, but they still kept going. So I believe that this is going to go all the way. Here's a halfway point. It looks like it's going to go to a Logical Sports. And a big battle here for position 2 coming down the main straight, and it looks like Commander Cirrus is going to make that stick down the inside. Oh, he has. So close between him and Gear. Oh, Gear, I think he's gone for a spin. He has. You can see the rear angle going on him out of turn 2. So we've got a Logical obviously coming in here at the moment. They're all coming in. Funny seeing Sato bouncing off the wall as he comes in to try and slow down that pace of that car. And Knight Pegasus, he seems to get the lead all the time through these safety car periods. And he's brought Dado with him. So Dado will tuck back down to second position. I would not have picked that we're getting close to 20 safety car periods.
How many are we at now?
We're at number 17.
Oof. We're halfway through the race.
Halfway.
Yep, so it'd be, if we keep going, there's going to be 34 cautions. Hopefully we don't get that bad.
History normally says that we eventually get a good green period, but I just haven't seen the confidence in the drivers to be able to do that this year. I really haven't. They've just been, I don't know, they're very pacey, but they're just causing a lot of incidents because they are a lot faster than what we've seen in previous years.
Exactly, everyone wants to win it now, but it's be a 3-hour race, so...
Well, it'll be a long, over 3-hour race, I think, this year.
Oh, yeah.
We've been going for an hour 40, and we've only just gone past the halfway mark. So it's definitely going to be one of the longest races in the history books. They're all still vying to see who can get that glass of milk, jug of milk, at the end of this race.
That might be it. That might be why everyone's fighting. So I want the milk more than anything.
Yeah, well, if it settles them down, I'll deliver them milk right now.
Oh yeah.
So we started with 11 runners. We had a disconnect of Dark Lord on lap 15, and then Weary Knight, who's in the commentary box with me, on lap 67. And looks like we're about to go green here with Night Pegasus leading. As I saw Matty Seeking do something crazy. I don't know if you saw that. I don't know what it was, but he's done something crazy. So, looks like we've got one more lap to go, actually.
Yeah, that was a bit strange.
Yeah. I'll give him a new Gigabyte 32-inch monitor, curved monitor, a good workout tonight. Longest it's been turned on for. And some people may not be aware that may be watching or watching back. Myself is going to PC very shortly, so I'm slowly getting a few things together. So looking forward to the transition to PC. I won't leave the Xbox. I'm still going to race amongst the community here of ANZCRL for sure on the Xbox. Still plenty to offer on Project Cars 2, the best we can. But here we go with Night Pegasus about to get us underway. It'll be lap 104 of 200. And I'll say it now, there will be 96 laps remaining. We're into the double figures of laps remaining now, so that's a good... Oh no, we can't even get started. In the background we have got a Logical Sports tagged up with Dark Racing 40. Oh my... whatever I want to say, but there you go. So they're going to race to the flag, but they can't even get off the starting line. If there was a rating system here, mate, I'll tell you what, I'd be gobsmacked about how many points they'd probably be losing.
Even when we started the next round at Circuit of the Americas with 0 points, there's been that many point deductions.
Oh.
Restarting the championship.
I'll tell you what, they won't be enjoying this whole process, that's for sure. This will be the last oval that they want to see for the rest of the year, I could imagine. Been such a great event over the past 4 run-ins that we've had at the Indy 500. Most of the drivers are really looking forward to this one. But they'll probably come away with mixed emotions, I could only imagine. So we'll be having a week's break for Easter. So the guys can try and get themselves pulled back together. And we'll be back for round 7 on the 24th of April at Circuit of the Americas. They may elect just to go. If they all in the communication and they say no one's pitting this lap, they may just actually go this lap. Geez, Night Pegasus has got him going slow, 125 kilometres an hour. He wants to extend this night even longer. He's in WA, it doesn't bother him. It's probably still daylight for him. We'll see if they do decide that they say let's just go instead of doing the 2-lap safety car period. Been going so slow they might just say yeah, here they go. So they're just going. And this is the problem. It seems like they're all scattered around early on. So this is looking good. They're all single file now through turns 1 and 2. Instead of trying to fight for positions. We've got a yellow-red little formation going on here. Oh, here we go again. We got Dado. He's so slow on the restarts. This is what's causing half the problems. Not his problem, it's just his car is just not there on the opening laps. See the Dado's pace starts coming through a few laps after the restart. You've just got to get into that zone. And here comes Commander Cirrus trying to have a look down the inside. Dado's not making it easy. Oh, seeing they drifting wide, but they all got through there all right. They just touched the wall. Oh, there's someone stopped. Year 3 Gaming, I think. Oh no, we'll see if yep, they've caught the virtual safety car. Oh, there's other cars straight into the pits as well. Dark Racing 40, Highlander, Logical, I tell you what, these guys are getting frequent flyer points into pit lane. They'll be flying around the world with the amount of points they're gaining.
With that, I'm going to call it a night.
No
Unfortunately,
worries,
I've got to get going.
I don't blame you, my friend. So, yeah, take it safe, mate. And I'll look forward to seeing you next time around. Thanks, Weary.
Not a problem, mate. I'll be back soon.
No problem. See you, buddy.
Alright, yeah.
So there you go, Weary Knight, who unfortunately got disconnected on lap 67 after showing so much pace early on as well. He started in 6th position and was really battling he actually ran in the lead of the race. He had 4 times in the lead of the race for a number of laps. Him and Sato 15 were definitely entertaining the race fans here tonight early on, but I tell you what, it's been a little bit of a drab race since that disconnect, I think, from Weary Knight. It's been second rate for the battle for the leads, and mid-pack there's been a few incidents causing these virtual safety cars, but I'm still thinking that this race will get exciting fairly shortly. I think I just can see, I sense, for some reason, there's just something, call me half glass full if you wish, but I just want to see and just think that these guys are going to know for the better for themselves to get to the end here. They just need to relax a little bit and run single file for a while. Just get it going, get a rhythm going. They haven't had a rhythm for a while. They're all getting frustrated with one another. So Night Pegasus in the KVH, I think it is, KVSH racing car, leading this race with Sato 15. Looking very strong, Sato. As is normally a Logical Sports, but he's getting caught up with a few crazinesses around him as well. We've seen some drivers driving a little bit different to what we used to seeing them drive as well. So that's also something that we're trying to get our heads around. But we're about to restart here on lap 110, 90 to go. And just so people are aware, with 25 laps remaining, there is no more virtual safety cars. So these guys better start getting this out of their system. Record number of safety cars, 19 we've had so far tonight. We've had 20 lead changes, most of them due to safety cars. But here we go, Night Pegasus. He's got it going right down the back there. We've got them running side by side. Little touch of the wall by Matty. Got out of it all right. Let's see Sato. He's having a look down the inside now. He's got a run on Night Pegasus. I'd say that he's got that nice and easy. So there you go, Sato back in the lead again. That's his 5th time in the lead. Oh, but he runs it wide. And here we go again, a big moment. There's no stopping there. Matty and Sato. Again, they've been involved. Is Matty in the crowd or is he? No, there he is. He's been able to stay on circuit. Dark Racing 40 now gets the lead of the race. Oh, it's almost time that I think I can almost call this coverage off as well. I'm just getting a little bit flustered myself. But anyway, we'll stick the long run, don't worry about that. But I tell you what, it probably won't be a video that'll be watched too many times. Definitely not painting the best picture for ANZCRL Combined Racing League here on Xbox. Project Cars 2 for the Australian, New Zealand sim racers out there that still may be on that Project Cars 2 game on the Xbox. It's still giving us some good series racing and enjoyment, which it's there for. It's can't always be perfect, that's for sure, in everything that people do, and this is obviously one of those times. And we've had some very good racing in the past, so this is definitely not a picture of our normal league. And I don't know how you can pick a winner out of what's been happening here either, at all. But there's Highlanders still up there. They're all obviously up there because they're all on the same lap. And they keep swapping and changing due to these safety cars. But the hardest thing that I've been seeing is the variation of speed of the cars on the restarts. Some are able to just turn it on and others can't. And the cars that can turn it on are struggling to race cleanly or or rather find themselves in a clean spot with the cars that are struggling to get up to speed, which may take a few laps. So, and they don't want to, you can understand these faster cars as well, they don't want to get caught behind those cars either, because they then lose the train of the leads and they're in no man's land when they do eventually pass the car. So it's a tough one, but again, it's so early in the race still, like even after we're just past halfway point. But here we go, on lap 113, we have Dark Racing 40 leading over Highlander with Illogical Sports, trying to tuck it down the inside early on, and this time Highlander gives a little bit of running space, but then he's drifted up wide, but he's been able to hold it there, and it looks like Highlander is still, see, been able to run off that turn 2 in front of Illogical. So there you go. So hopefully this just proves that they do not have to try and close the door down the inside, that which we've been seeing so often, as Dado's looking, before the cameraman might get it before we miss it, looking very racy against gear. And we're going 3 wide, and there we go, moments of 3 wide craziness. What can I say about that? There's not much I can really say, other than these drivers, I can't see how they can enjoy themselves constantly lapping around here. I should not be bagging this whole race, but oh, it's tough. It is so tough. It's Darky. Takes the that yellow. #21st safety car period on lap 115, guys. And Sato right behind now, Dado, for this restart, and Night Pegasus coming on through. So these drivers here could probably get away and start cleaning and get a good little run on the restart, these 3. But it's just a matter of everyone else not tripping over themselves. And we don't know also, that's one thing that I will say, is some of these drivers could be having hardware issues as well. We've known in the past some of these longer races or bigger grids that some people have steering wheel issues, lose feed, false feedback, lose sound sometimes. So that could also be playing with a few of the guys as well. So Matty's out of the pit lane. So they've got another lap to be able to try and latch on before they start. Dark Racing 40, I believe, is trying to win this race in the 3rd Andretti Autosport car. He has won it previous years in the different Andretti cars in the game. So he's been our most winningest driver, I believe, of the Indy 500. I'm just going to check this while we're under caution, while they're on the back straight. So we had him second in the number 28 Andretti Autosport car last year to Illogical Sports. Commander Series came 3rd. Then when we go to 2020, we had Dark Racing in the 98 Andretti Autosports Honda win over Weary Knight in the number 2 Team Penske, and Commander Series again came 3rd in 2020. And then 2019, we had Shads in the 22 Team Penske, Dark Racing in this 26 Andretti Autosport car came 2nd, and Sato came 3rd. So here we go. That was 2019. So we are go, and we've got them all filtering through turn 1. cleanly. But Commander Cirrus putting a lot of pressure on gear. Night Pegasus is obviously elected to pit and do his normal thing as well. While I was reading the history of the race, of the positions for Dark Racing 40. So he's a fair way off the pack here at the moment. This could be a turning point too, where the cars seem to be fairly spaced out. There's Highlander and Maddie very close. But I reckon we are going to see a good green flag run. If these guys can go around for another 2 laps without incident, they should be nice and settled. So Maddie's having a look down the inside. And he's made that move now on Highlander. So Highlander's sticking it up on the outside as they go around and tuck it back inside of Maddie to see if he can attack again. Oh, these two have had a little bit of a run-in. Dado and Logical. They're slow out of turn 4. So again, this is the reason what's happened here. We've also Dado. Just a little, the cars just doesn't work for him early on the race. So the guy's trying to take advantage of that. And I don't want to get caught behind. Maddie has made the most of it. There's a Logical. Oh, Dado has gone around. Didn't see that. But they've run now to the flag and they've knocked up that safety car. So they're off throttle, slowing, coasting down to that 150 kilometres an hour for lap 120. We've got 80 laps still to go. The 20-second safety car period. Oh, Dado and Night Pegasus. Night Pegasus is out by the looks of things, but Dado, oh, he'll get out. He won't be falling a lap down, but geez, it'll be close. These guys only 150 kilometres an hour. Not even sure on the amount of fuel that they use up on one whole run either, because we've been under safety car, been separated. So Gear now will lead this race and taking Maddie and Highlander along for the ride. As these guys all elect to pit, so Gear 3 Gaming retakes the lead. So getting back there, so with Dark Racing 40, so yeah, 2019 he was in the, came second to Shads. And then 2018, he 7-sided die actually won in the 27 Andretti Autosport Honda. Dominator, geez, he was fast. He was in the number 2 team, Penske Chevrolet, came second. Dark Racing 40 in the 12 team, Penske. So he hasn't won as many as I thought. I thought he'd won a lot more. He's only won the one event, I think, from memory when we go back to all that now. Which was when he won in 2020, I think it was. Yeah, 2020 he won. Oh, Fish, we're having a very, very long night here, my friend. Hasn't been the best night of racing, but here we go. We're restarting now with Gear 3 Gaming in the lead on lap 122. We've Dado just trying to rejoin the queue here at the back there of turn 4. And they're all filtering through. It's probably a good spot for Dado with his car so hard to get going off the start. And all with Matty's having a look down the inside for the change of the lead. And the two cars of Sato and Commander Cirrus were close together. Oh, look at this, 4 wide into that corner. But Matty Seeking has taken the lead away from Gear 3 Gaming. He finds himself running high up on the flag there. And we have got a big moment in the background again. But we won't take that away there. Highlander is taking the lead. Matty's gone straight into the pits. So Matty took it straight into the pits. He actually finally got himself in the lead of the race, but not over the start-finish line. But Highlander, this is the first time I believe Highlander's been in the lead. Oh, I'm only running on low cylinders at the moment, my friend. So just trying to get through this night as these drivers are. We have had 2 disconnects for those joining. Lap 15 for Dark Lord and lap 67 for Weary Knight, who could really have taken this race out without that disconnect, I really think. But Highlander, he's found himself in the thick of things all race long, but he's now in the lead of this race as it looks like Gear 3 Gaming is going into pit lane. Yes, he is. So that's a little bit different to what he's normally been doing. Gear. And then you've got now Dado in the 4th position. Very hard to pick who would be a worthy winner of this big event here, the 5th running of the Daytona, of the I'm even going to sleep now, of the Indy 500. Going for just over 2 hours, 2 hours and 5 minutes roughly this race. Still got a long way to go. The longest race we would have seen in the history of ANZCRL Combined Racing League. This is going to be excess of 3 hours, about 3 hours 20, I reckon, the way that these guys have been going. Wouldn't put it past them. Need someone to fix me up a stiff scotch, I reckon. So let's go. Highlander's gone early. Left Gear 3 Gaming, wondering why did he pit? Way back there, he's going to be struggling if we go green flag for a while here. Highlander's car, I have to give to him, does look very stable too. Just don't like this inside line he runs sometimes. It just seems to make him drift wide mid-corner, but he's been able to hold it through there. It's just his driving style that he's taken to Indy. As Darky's having a look on the outside now of Sato. They nearly take out our camera. Oh, and look, here we go. The P516 Sports guys behind as well with Matty and Illogical battling it out. Oh, there we go. Big moment, Sato and Highlander. Highlander's been able to still go. Kept the boot into it. Not so well for Sato, but Dark Racing 40. This will be another virtual safety car. Round and round we go. Guess who's second? The man they call Dado. I'll be back, guys. I got to get myself a drink. All right. Got myself a little settler. I'll tell you what, I need it. Okay, here we go. The restart for the 24th time. Here we go. Dark Racing 40. It's going to be almost sunset by the time these guys finish in race, but here we go. Dado, we know that he struggles early on. He finds himself on the outside here with Matty down the inside. Nice move by Matty. He's looking sharp, but there we go. A little touch and Dado's gone. But oh, and there we go. We got the target car of Commander Cirrus, and this is a big one. You can just see these cars, they just seem to be over this race. They don't even try and avoid one another at the moment. They're just ploughing over the top of anyone that they see fit. Oh. Tell you what, I don't even think this will be uploaded to YouTube. But Highlander taking it all the way in as Darky's taking the pits. So Highlander will be leading this. And what are we up to? 129 laps. I'm running out of paper. Right in these safety cars. Probably should start reading the latest auto action out to you guys. We should pull that out. Anything I see excellent on is my live stream comment here on Twitch saying we've got excellent connection. Not much more I can say. We'll chirp up, I reckon. Just we wish we had the fast forward button, that's all. There goes Knight Pegasus doing his second lap in pit. He's getting used to, we're getting used to seeing that. So Logical looks like he's taking the lead. I thought it was Highlander that was actually leading this safety car period, but I'm sure they're talking. I must have been a Logical. He hasn't been given that position back. So, can last year's champion, race winner, a Logical Sports, actually clear out? It doesn't matter if he clears out, because if everything else happens behind him, we're back in the same situation. But this is what he wants. He wants to actually get out if he can, because he's been involved in a little bit, being in the mid-pack, nowhere to go. So I'm assuming that, you know, these cars here, they're trying to do their best, I have to say, but one slight little error is just basically ruin it for everyone. And they've all been guilty. Everyone's been guilty in this race. We've seen everyone high-siding it and touching cars and coming unglued. And here we go, Illogical Sports. When will he drop the hammer? Now, he's gone. So let's just, fingers crossed, we get a good period here. Like a broken record saying that. It's Gear and Commander Cirrus. We're almost running too wide, and Sado doesn't want to muck around either. Behind. So Sado's a bit of the aggressor at the moment. I'd say he'd be a bit frustrated with how his race has been panned out as well. Oh, his gears just run up on the wall there, but that's all right. He's still been going, but he's going to lose a spot to Sado. Sado should be able to make this nice and clean, and Matty's trying to follow him through down the inside. This is going to be interesting into turn one. Oh, and Dado's even looking at it as well. Oh, and he's been able to hold on to a nice save by Gear. That's one of the best saves we've seen. Yes, he was in the barrier. Oh, and Knight Pegasus, I mean. This has been the problem where they come ploughing into the cars that have been having a problem. But we're going to be going green here, guys. I don't believe that's going to be a virtual safety car. That was a great save by Gear 3 Gaming and all involved to avoid spinning anyone around. The sounds of the cars finally revving high speeds. Let's have a look. We're doing 360 Ks. Drop down by the time they get to the second part of the corners before they reach the two main straights. And then they get up to around about 385, 380. What can Highlander do? He's starting to now think, should I be trying to latch on the back of a Logical, or do I have to protect here from these two red cars come flying down at me? Both Commander Cirrus and Sado looking very, very strong. Look at them come. Oh, rip the camera out. Sado got the fastest he's ever done around here at the moment, 39.163. Race trim. Here comes Commander Cirrus. Oh, it's pushed Highlander up a little bit. It's also pushed Sado, seen it. I think he was just thinking the old textbook that we're going to see an accident. But no, they're still racing hard here. They've all kept it going, which is good to see. And look down the inside, here comes Commander Cirrus. And Highlander still hold on to a great driving by Highlander. Awesome driving. Sticking it strong around the outside with that challenge from Commander Cirrus. And he's now under threat with Sado. Sado's been able to get around the outside of Commander Cirrus. The P51 Sim Sport cars. A one with the Logical Sports. fourth with Commander Cirrus, and fifth with Matty Seeking. Oh, and the Indianapolis arena is just vibrating now with high rev Honda and Chevrolet engines. And Highlander now trying to see if he can go around the outside and protect this move by Sato, but Sato's too strong. Too strong down the inside for Sato. And now Highlander's trying to duck in, make a spot felt here in between the two red cars. This is great. Tough racing between these three. Finally it's come alive. This is what we've been wanting to see. At the time though, Logical Sports has found himself with a 1.3 second gap while these ones are all battling out for position 2, 3 and 4. And that's also bringing Matty and Darky into the fight. Didn't take them long to join. Can we see Sato start trying to extend away from these guys as Highlander may hold them up a little bit. He's starting to get a little bit of a breath of fresh air, about half a second almost. Now this is the sort of racing that we've come to expect from our boys. Highlander up on the fast lap with a 39.477. Fastest one of the race for him. Oh, look at Darky having a good look at Matty. Can't get much between those two at the moment. Also Commander Cirrus. Nice shot as they come out of turn, coming through turn 4, the final corner. Here he is. He's going to dive it down the inside of turn 1. Nice and confident for Commander Cirrus. He's made it stick. Now Matty wants a piece of it as well. He's just got to settle in the groove though. Let Highlander just get settled a little bit. That's where we've been seeing the incidents. No, it's all racing they want to get through, but they also want to get through some laps here, which they're doing right now. Oh, wiggle from Sato. Sato has caught a Logical Sports at a rate of knots. So roughly on the same fuel level. Plenty going on down the back here, as well as Highlander's trying to mount a challenge back on Commander Cirrus at the same time trying to hold off Matty Seeking. And Matty's trying to protect that position 5 from Darky as well. Oh, look at Darky having a look now. I think he's trying to poke it down the inside. I think he has. I think he's got the screw here, but can Matty hold it around the outside? No, he can't. We've seen Highlander be able to do that and really defend that position around the outside. Highlander's car really grips up around the outside. It's not too bad on the high line. It's a risky one though. Darky up into position 5. Back up front, we've got a Logical Sports now. Still trying to defend off the Sato 15's charge. Car should be feeling really nice now with his fuel level as well. Bit of defensive from Logical there. Just trying to break Sato's slipstream. While they're battling now, you can obviously see Logical slowing down just a little bit because we've got Commander Cirrus now. He's got to run. Watch out for Commander Cirrus onto the main straight here. Just got checked up a little bit, I think, through the chute. I think he may have to have come out of it. There's Darky battling hard with Commander Cirrus, but we'll go back up front here. This is where it's at between Illogical Sports, Sado 15 and Commander Cirrus. Oh, it's only taken us 2 hours, 20 minutes to finally see some well, that robs the racing that we saw from Commander Cirrus. What's happened there? Got the wobble on. So there's obviously a virtual safety car. I was just going to say it's been a while since we've seen good clean run in there, but there's obviously a virtual safety car. Someone's been in the wall. But, I was going to say it's taken away from the battle though from Weary Night and Sado, so we actually saw plenty of that early on, so we won't forget about that. So the 26 safety car period comes out on lap 145. And will we see Illogical Sports come in? I would think that you would probably see him, or will he go knowing that he won't have to pit once more if he can stay out? That's the thing. And we get some nice clean running out of this though. There'll be green flag stops. They're all only just coming out of the pits, so they're all going to come in. See, what that's going to do is this car here that's just come out of the pits, Dark Racing 40, can absolutely gun it. So he's going to gain so much time on these guys, because he can run all the way to the flag because he's not first position. So even though this is the first lap of the virtual safety car, he's going to come now around the second one, slow it down. These guys aren't going to be getting out of the pits. So this is a big moment for those guys in the pits that couldn't get in there at the start. We've got Commander Cirrus rolling out. But he's going to be looking good there in second position, as is Highlander. So they have to be at 150 kilometres an hour. And again, Darky will be one that will probably want to get this run going as soon as he gets out of turn 4. So those ones that pitted on the second lap have actually lost a lot of time. Beneficial people will obviously be Dark Racing 40, Gear 3 Gaming. Dado's lost out big time too, so he came in late. So he must have been involved in that accident, so that's why he's so far back. Oh, they're almost going to get onto this queue, but look at Darky, he'll be wanting to go. So here he goes, he's off. The others are going to come rocketing through as well. They got some good pace. So they actually have done a good job. So I didn't think they were going to actually get onto the back of this queue. Yeah, they're going to have to work together a little bit. But Maddie, from Highlander there, just sort of buffeting any challenge from Sado, but what can Matty do to Gear 3 Gaming? Gear 3 Gaming's always been, look, he's just run wide, Matty. Just the simple thing of the tyres not quite up to temperature or up to pressure. Rolling around on his carcass. High loads around these corners. It's 380 kilometres an hour. Nerves of steel to turn these cars in at that pace. quarters distance into this race. We're at 148 of 200. There's a bit of a battle going on at the back here. Night Pegasus with Sada have a look down the inside, and also a Logical. Logical looks like he's made that stick as well. And Dado at the rear of the grid. It hasn't been a race for Dado at all. There's obviously something not quite right, because he's had some great pace all weekend. As I said at the top of this broadcast, and he's just been struggling all night. So there'll be some sore bodies after this. He's doing a great job in position 2. Mounting a very nice challenge, and we've seen him strong around the outside, Highlander, and look at this. Lost a little bit of pace. He's got to make it stick in turn 1. He loses too much pace out of turn 2, running wide, and here comes Matty on the outside. Can we see Matty do a move around here, turn 3? It's going to be risky turn 3. Well, all of those 4 corners, they look the same, but they've got a unique character, each one. Ooh, a little puff of smoke from Dark Racing, but Gear's still holding off Highlander here in position 2. Doing a great job in the number 3 Team Penske car. And Matty's trying to push on Highlander around here the outside. That wall just comes up so quick on you when you're on the outside. So here comes Dado now. I wasn't actually looking. Hopefully there wasn't a little overtake happening between everyone else up front, but looking at Dado, having a good little look at Highlander. Now trying to put off Matty, and Matty's made that run stick. And he's bringing Sado with him. Oh, Sado up high, very high. He's been able to survive that, but he's going to lose out. He's going to lose from this train. Darker with 50 litres of fuel, leading this race. We've gone past 3/4 race distance. Looking good in the Andretti Autosports car, but so is Gear 3 Gaming and Team Penske. Doing a wildcard entry and looking the goods at the moment. There's Matty putting a lot of pressure on him down the inside. Looks like Matty is pulled up alongside him. He's going to go through 2x2 on the turn 1, and Matty's made that stick. Matty's been confident through turn 1. He's made a few moves nice and cleanly through turn 1. Here we go, Matty's seeking what sort of challenge can he put on Darky. We've seen Darky's car a little bit unstable when he gets near some cars behind or even in front. As Matty pulls out one of his faster laps of the race, 39.262. He's up again. Oh, that would have cost him some time though. He's going to give a little draft for gear. Highlander working the back of gear fairly hard here. On the break, there's been a virtual safety car, and Highlander's ducked in there right at the right time. Oh, it's for Dado. Dado's had a moment. So, lap 157. So this will almost be an opportunity for all the cars to fill up, for sure. And then that'll give them a little bit of a splash and dash. If we can go green all the way to the end. Just remember, once we get to 175 laps, there's no, well, 176th lap, there's no more virtual safety cars. So we're getting closer to that number. And we just saw then, nearly, it was 12 laps of green racing then. So look, by the time this restarts and they go that and they can go a few more laps than what we just saw, we're into that territory where we won't see any more virtual safety cars. So if we can do that, we're going to see definitely a green flag run pit stop happening, and Darky's elected to stay out. And that's Dado, I think, coming out of pit lane. He'll be able to get going, but he was so close to falling a lap down. A race that Dado would probably like to forget. But we've seen some stranger things happen here at Indy 500 before, so you never know. You might end up finding him still on the podium. Plenty of time still to go in this race, with 40 laps remaining once we get going again, which will be next time around. So we got 40 litres for Matty. I mean for Darky. Matty's actually got less, 38.9, 39.4 for Gear, so they're roughly the same. Same as Night Pegasus. Now he didn't do his normal jump in on the second lap pit stop that we've seen, which has been synonymous with him. But Saturday filled up, so did Illogical. So all these cars behind have all filled up, and they're ready to go. So they do want to see green flag for the rest of this race, because when they come in for a pit stop, their pit stop will be a lot shorter than these guys in front, which would have to pretty much fill up their tanks. So here we go. As Dado's been able to just jump on the queue here with full pace as well, as we're about to get going. And that will actually help Dado, because he's had problems with his, obviously as we said, with the tyre pressures on the start. So who knows, we might just see that quick run that he's been able to join the back of his queue might help his cause. And will we see him climb through the field? But Darky is definitely not Die Wonder, and he is off with Matty in second. Number 8, P51 Simpsons. Oh, there we go. We've got Night Pegasus in the wall and taken Dado out. Oh, dear. Dad will be thinking, why is my car always being clobbered by someone? Why am I always clobbering someone? So you bet your bottom dollar that these guys will come in. They'll definitely be the ones coming in. They're still running to the flag here. Or they're slowing down. What's going on here? This is causing problems. What's Darky doing? So they're all having a little bit of moments there because Darky was still moving. He was on the back straight doing 200 and something kilometres. He hadn't slowed down. He should have been still running to the flag. Oh, so late night. Late night. Well, he stayed out. And we've got Highlander in pit lane. But this time around, I think they'll be going green after this. There's a bit of confusion there. Alright, so we're about to go. We've got some cars night. Pegasus is going to be caught out here. And we're going to go green here. And just think of the championship too with Sato in 4th position. Double points here for this race. So he's in the thick of things, Sato. Right in this mid-pack. Getting closer now to the end of this race, and more importantly, no more virtual safety cars at lap 170, at the completion of lap 175. So that's only in 12 laps time. Good chance that we could go green all the way to the checker now. We'll soon see. As Matty, there he goes, he takes the lead of the race, down into turn 3. Nice move by Matty, the first time that he sees himself in the lead, but he has spun it. Oh, and right up in the sort of walk in the oncoming of Highlander, who got through that. So they're still running green flag here. Matty hasn't called the virtual safety car, or has he? We'll soon see. They may be running all the way here to the flag, to the line. There's Sato now, who was just in 4th position, finds himself in 2nd and almost challenging for the lead. And are we going to see the yellow here? No, they're still going. So Matty didn't call it. His choice not to. So here we go, the challenge now for the championship between Sato and Dark Racing 40 is well and truly alive here. Darky in 3rd position in the championship. He'd love to take a victory here. It would be his 2nd victory at the Indy 500. So he'll be aiming for this. We've only got 10 laps before we will not see another virtual safety car, and that is, fingers crossed, It'll be green all the way once we get to lap 176. We've got to get there first, but here we go. Darky has done everything here to stop this charge from Sato. For the lead of this race, we've got the Logical Sports, last year's winner, lurking there in third position. And then we got Gear 3 Gaming in fourth. Okay, let's jump on board for a lap around this Indy 500 circuit. On board Sato as he chases down this man. Dark Racing 40, enjoy. It doesn't take long, and you can just see that little bump on the wall there with damage off. It still cost him a little bit of time. He lost a bit of ground, but look at him coming back here now in the draft. He's up on his best first sector time. He'll stay on board here. Through here to get his fastest lap. No, he hasn't. So it was so close, 0.043 seconds off his fastest time, but he is monstering Dark Racing 40 for the lead of this race. As a Logical Sports, he's holding off Gear 3 Gaming, who's absolutely finding some great late race pace. To go. There's a Logical. I thought was almost making a move on Gear, but Gear's been able to keep him at bay. Actually extended a bit of a lead there from a Logical. A Logical's lost a lot of time. Is he having some throttle problems, or what? Are we seeing a virtual safety car, or someone's in the pits? So Night Pegasus is in the pit lane. Don't know why he's in pit lane. He's doing a green flag pit stop because he knows that'll get him to the end. That's what it is. He's betting his dollars that this is going to go green all the way here. Or is he people getting some tyre problems? Not too sure why he would have pitted there. There's still a chance that maybe a virtual safety car could come out. We've got still another 2 more laps before that is no longer a possibility. As Darky's still trying hard to shake Sato. I don't think he's going to be able to. I think Sato's got his measure here. It's just going to be a matter of time of when Sato can make a nice clean move on Dark Racing 40 for the lead. Oh, Sato getting up on the grey area. Don't want to do that too much. So I think I know what Illogical was doing. He was actually doing a team favour like happened early in the race. He has slowed it down a little bit when we saw that throttle input to bring along Commander Cirrus, and they're swapping positions so they can come up the field as Matty Seekins into the pits. Low on fuel, he'll get to the end now. We've got one more lap to go before there'll be no more virtual safety car period, so fingers crossed we keep going green all the way here as these two are working together nicely as they start getting onto the back of Gear 3 Gaming very quickly. So here we are, we're coming around. There will be, I'd say, no more virtual safety car periods. It's too late for anything to be called now as they're going to start their 176 lap. So there you go, we're going to go green all the way as one's in the pits. Gear 3 Gaming's gone in, 4.3, so they're all getting low on fuel. Some of these guys have had to stay out before. Logical's got 31 litres. And Commander Cirrus has got roughly the same. Oh, he's run out wide. Well, when I say wide, he's had a little bit of a moment and got down the inside of the infield. But they want to work together to try and get up to these guys as Matty getting out of the way. As Darky just puts his fastest lap in a 39.080. So here comes Darky, he's in the pit, so Saddo's taking the lead of the race, so Darky's had to come in, he knows it's time for fuel. So how long will Saddo stay out? Will he doesn't want to get caught out with an undercut. Darky's in, full lead, all his fuel will be going in. These two now are working hard together. See if Saddo's going to come in here this time around. He's staying out on full throttle. As you can see, with the 45-second pit transition plus the time stationary, Darky's fallen a lap down. But these guys have yet to pit to get to the end as well. So the lap record was set last year with a 38.979. So I think we're still waiting to see a 38, and that was by Logical Sports, who won the race last year. So we'll just have a look at the timings here. They all look like they're all 39s. As here comes Saddo, so we'll keep an eye on Dark Racing 40. He's got a 15-second lead on Gear, so he's actually made some time up on Gear 3 Gaming. They were only about 7 seconds separated when Gear went into the pits. So he's extended that lead. He's back on the lead lap now while Saddo's in pit lane. And Saddo's rolling. It's just agonisingly slow. He's still got a while before he can even get released. And we've got Dark Racing 40 now coming around the final corner. So it's going to be close. As long as Saddo doesn't have a moment coming out of pit lane around these inner infield section. on the transition lane. There goes Matty. Oh, Sato. He was pushing. That'll be a warning. That might even be a penalty for Sato. Exiting pit lane like that. He got away with it. So Darky, he's got full operating pressures at the moment. 42 litres of fuel compared to 49 litres for Sato. So will it be marginal fuel for Darky? Has he got it calculated right with 20 laps remaining? Mounting a challenge here on Sato. This is where we've seen Darky's car just a little bit unstable though. When he's in the draft. And he's been pushing hard. But what a battle for the lead we've got here at the moment. 19 laps, 18 laps remaining. Commander Cirrus yet to pit with Illogical Sports, who's actually out in front. Sorry, we haven't been watching these guys, but effectively the leader is Sato over Dark Racing 40. These guys have yet to pit. But they are working together in this train as well to try and bridge that gap. I don't think you're going to see any drastic move here. Dado's into the pits to go able to get to the end. And Sato's still holding off Darky. Oh, just a puff of concrete as Darky tries to extend more of a track at the Indianapolis out of turn 2. Those walls don't like moving. So these are guys that are going to be effectively the race leader. They're a lap and a bit down from Illogical Sports. There are those red dots there. So Illogical's still leading but getting lower and lower on fuel. As Commander Cirrus, what happened to him? He had a moment. He's backed off, so maybe he'll come into the pits here now. Try and minimise the loss of losing it out the outside there. And now here comes Illogical Sports, so they're both coming in. So both of the P51 Sim Sport cars are in, and there goes Sato and Darky to be on the lead lap again. So they're going to come back around the lead because, as I said, it's about a 45-second transition period plus their time in stationary. So a lap time of under 45 seconds will easily give these guys to regain the lead of the race. Question is, well, Dado's in 5th position. And he's... he won't come out to challenge these guys. They're just coming out of pit lane now. Illogical and Commander Cirrus together, and Dado is coming down the main straight. So no, but he might be able to latch on to him for a late charge. So I believe Sato 15 has not won the Indy 500, so he's actually going for his first victory here. Yes, he is. So could we see Sato take out his first victory? He's looking strong here at the moment, trying to stop Dado from getting his second victory here. I mean Darky, sorry, who won it back in 2020. To a gig 3 game, he's had an impressive drive to be there in 6th position. He's going to find it hard though, because you've got Highlander actually without a penalty. Gear 3 game in a 10-second end of race time penalty, so that's going to cost him that 6th position if it ends this way. As Highlander's looking around the outside, down the inside, he's trying every which way to try and pass Gear 3 Gaming. That yellow Team Penske car, making it difficult. Don't forget Highlander's subbing for Commander Tim in the championship. Oh, right around the outside, he missed his turn in, I think. Dado's just dropped back a little bit. Is that because he's worried about fuel? 10 laps remaining. He's got 22.5 litres. Let's have a look. I might have to just stay on board here and just see how much fuel he's running per lap. It'll be close to 2.5 litres roughly, I reckon, a lap. So he's got 20 point, well it says 20.8, but it'll probably be a little bit less than that as he crossed the start-finish line. Probably 20.5, might have been more the number. Charging hard. All I can say is I reckon Darky's going to be right on the limit here with fuel. Being in the draft of Saturday's going to help him, help his cause. So you can almost say that, yeah, they're using just about 2.1 litres, so he's just going to be close. He's not going to have much fuel left by the time he crosses the start-finish line, whereas Saturday's got a little bit more in reserve. Highlander's been able to get on top of gear here. He made a nice move. Commander Sirius is getting back on the top of Logical Sports here. Again, they're working together to try and catch up to these guys if they can. It's a long way for them to try in 13 seconds. I don't think they're going to do anything about it. They're just trying to probably safeguard Commander Sirius from Highlander. That's the big question. But I think Commander Sirius only had a 10-second penalty. And we'll just go look at the timer. Yeah, 10-second penalties for Commander Sirius and Dado. So the only person that's going to could threaten Commander Sirius's position is Highlander. And he's roughly 20 or 18 odd seconds or so behind. So but the question mark is Dark Racing's fuel. Is he got enough? Will he do a champion? He's been known to do his run out of fuel on the last lap. Hence the name of the champion. He may have just miscalculated the amount of fuel he put in at the final pit stop. Gear 3 Gaming back at Highlander, slowly trying to get within that striking distance. Matty. So Darky's actually backed off for this. He knows that he's in fuel problems. He's running on lean by the looks of that fuel, that throttle input, to try and get to the end here. Now, logical. Could he be in a challenge of Dark Racing 40 with the fuel dropping? If these two can get in a nice draft and gain almost 2 seconds a lap, I think they're going to fall short though. 4 laps remaining, that's only 8 seconds difference. And not quite enough for a logical to get onto the back of Darky. The Darky has to conserve fuel to the end here. He's just short-filled the tank on the last stop. Sato's just got enough to get to the end. So it's looking like that Sato's finally going to get his victory here. And will this also be a triple crown for him? I don't think he's won the Bathurst 1000. It's the only thing I think that may have eluded him. Actually, no, he won the Bathurst 1000 last year, so winning this will give him the Triple Crown Award because he's won Le Mans 24 hours. He just hasn't won here at the Indianapolis 500, so we may have our third inductee of the Triple Crown ANZCRL Combined Racing League Triple Crown Award. The inaugural winner was Shads, and then we had Dark Racing 40 last year, and could it be Sato? He's only got this lap and one more to go. Oh, big moment for Matty. Massive moment. Can he get out of the way of the fast cars approaching? Here comes Darky. Darky's on 3.2 litres of fuel. And he's getting ever so close to being striking distance of a Logical Sports on the last lap. So here comes Sato. He's got one more lap to go. He has got enough fuel. He's ended up being able to come home at a nice gap between him and Dark Racing 40, who is definitely under pressure here to get to the end. He is not going to make it in second position. You will find Logical Sports will take this second position away from Darky. Commander Cirrus, with that 10-second penalty, will not be able to hold on to the third position, but it will be gifted to Logical Sports. But here we go, we pick up Sato 15. Welcome to the Triple Crown, Sato 15. Well done in the 2022 Indy 500 winner. Well done, but look at this battle here for Dark Racing 40. He's out of fuel. He's out of fuel. Darky's out of fuel. And a Logical Sports. What's a Logical doing? Where's a Logical? Oh! I don't know what actually happened there. But Dark Racing has been able to hold on to second position over a Logical Sports. And Commander Cirrus has been able to hold on, I think, to fourth position. You have got a commentator a little bit confused here of exactly what happened there, but Dark Racing was able to hold on to second position. He was in pit lane. I think we saw Darky going in pit lane. I'm not too sure where that was. But he has been able to finish in second. Sato taking out the victory, 3 hours and 4 minutes. What a long mammoth race this has been. With Dark Racing 40 in second, a Logical Sports in third. Commander Cirrus was able to hold on to fourth with that 10-second penalty. Highlander was able to jump Gear 3 Gaming. Well, he took that position. Dado Racer dropped down to seventh, so something happened there at the end for Dado. And he's dropped down into 7th with Matty seeking a lap down and Night Pegasus 2 laps down. Look at the number of pit stops was had by many. Gear 3 Gaming, one of the drivers that not actually pitting every time a safety car came out. But look at that. What a race. What a long endurance race that was. We'll see if I can get invite. Sorry about that little pause there. I was just trying to get Sato into the party here, our winner. And I'll return this lobby to everyone there. But we'll get Sato in, hopefully. Welcome to the Triple Crown Awards, Sato 15. How does it feel being the 3rd inductee to that prestigious award? And also, the big jug of milk for the Indy 500. Well done.
You fucking beauty!
Well done, my friend. And you beat Darky at his game. He ran out of fuel again, and you would challenged him right to the death. And you had battles galore through that race, especially with Weary Night early on. I tell you what, you truly deserve that race tonight there, Sato, with a very exhausting safety car fueled race.
Yeah, well, that was frustrating with all the safety cars. It was a shame Weary Night disconnected because I was following him and I'm just thinking to myself, it looks like we've got the 2 best cars, so yeah, it was, if we were to stay up front, I don't think anyone else sort of had the car speed that we had. But
oh, no way. You guys were at another level, I say. And 28 safety cars in total, 26 lead changes. And you led the race 6 times during that race, and the big one at the end after those pit stops. What a great result. And happy for you to finally be awarded that Triple Crown, this race you've been wanting to get. And you've done it in that classic RLL racing car that you enjoy for the IndyCars. So, mate, enjoy your night tonight with that victory. You'll savour this moment. And the 5th run-in has gone to Sato 15 of the Indy 500. Congratulations,
yeah,
buddy.
I just want to quickly say a massive thank you to Dark Racing 40 for all the setup work that we've been doing over the last couple of months, just trying to get this car right. Considering it was us 2 Hondas pretty much against the field of Chevs, so we're sort of trying to help each other try to get one over the Chevys. And yeah, 2 weeks ago we did a complete overhaul of the setup to try and jump illogical, and I'm so glad that it's actually worked out.
Well, more than worked out, buddy, and 1-2 for the Hondas as well. Great result. Illogical Sports came home 3rd there too. He gave it all though, but just got caught out at the end there between the last lot of safety cars. But still, great run by the P51 Sim Sports, but there was no matching the team RLL Racing Honda of yourself, Sato. So we'll end the night on that, buddy, and great victory. Go and celebrate, and we look forward to seeing you now well and truly in contention to take out the IndyCar Championship as well with 2 more rounds remaining. So I've been your host, Woody Lizard. Hope you've enjoyed this long race. It has been safety car fueled, but that last section of that race was absolutely brilliant, and what a battle Sato had. I bet he will be sweating like nothing else. So until next week, guys, when we come, we've got a week break, sorry, for Easter. We'll be back on your screens on the 24th for the 7th round, the penultimate round of the IndyCar Championships at COTA. Again, congratulations to Sato, Dark Racing 40 and Illogical Sports, our podium place getters. Well done, guys.